What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Mock Draft Monday. We haven't done one of these in a while, couple of weeks. A couple of weeks ago, I had strep throat. Then last Monday, we did our recap of day one of the free agency frenzy for our Washington Commanders. So if you haven't checked out all of our week one free agency content that we put out last week, we recorded every single weekday last week. So I promised you that we're going to be pushing out more and more content. And here we are. But I appreciate you guys spending your Monday night, your Monday evening with us over here at Bleeding BNG. And I'm super excited. Because we talked all that free agency talk. And yeah, this is Mock Draft Monday 7.0. So we've done 6 of these, and we'll continue to do a Mock Draft Monday every Monday leading up to the actual draft in April. But we all know that all the mock drafts before free agency, they're all for show. They're all for the dog and pony show. But now, after free agency and our teams are addressing some of the needs, we can start to get a more direct linear vision on the needs that the Washington Commanders and all the teams across the NFL need after filling some of these holes and some of these, frankly, blank spots that we didn't have on the roster last season. I think we went into free agency with about 30 open roster spots. So it was some dibbling and dabbling that Adam Peters had to do last week to start off free agency, and he did it with the start of free agency week one last week. Just going to recap some of the free agency signings that the Commanders had, all of the moves that they have leading up to today. I don't think they've made any moves today, just to make you guys more familiar with what they've done in the last couple of weeks, to show you why our line of vision when we start mock drafting tonight might be what it is. But Adam Peters and the Washington Commanders did a lot to address the defensive side of the ball. Their biggest signing so far, with the highest total value at 4 years, $100 million per year, was the Odafe Owe signing. Edge from the Los Angeles Chargers, drafted by the Baltimore Ravens in 2021. I'm super excited about his potential in this Durante Jones, Brian Flores influence style defense. We got a glimpse at what the defense is going to look like from another one of the free agent signings in Charles Omenihu, when he said that this is going to be an under front. And if we can go back to what Brian Flores ran a lot in Minnesota last year, he ran a lot of 3-4 under with a lot of penetrating one gap system schemes, a lot of gains and stunts along the defensive line. And I think that is where Odafe Owe is going to excel at, using his sub 4.4 speed that he had coming out of Penn State in 2021. Now, granted, those were COVID 40 times. They were those COVID 40 times, but I think that he's an ideal fit for this defense. If we think about what Brian Flores' defense has had, long, rangy pass rushers like the early years of Danielle Hunter, then Jonathan Grenard, and things of that nature, I think Odafe Owe is a perfect fit. But before I keep going into the free agent signings for the Washington Commanders during week one of the free agency period, let me go ahead and get into the chat, because as I've always said, this is a stream, made by me, but it's ran by you. I don't come in here with a script. I don't come in here with anything planned to say. It's a reason why the Commander Caucus is in the background, because I need the caucus. I need somebody playing my Lance Newmark today. I need somebody to play I don't even know who is in the front office at this point. You could be Josh Harris if you want to. But I'm Black Adam, no Rocky, putting on the cape and taking over the war room. And if you don't know, and this is if your first Mock Draft Monday with us over here at Bleeding BNG, we do 2 iterations, 2 versions of mock drafting, even after all the moves that Adam Peters has made during the first week of free agency, because I believe that the Commanders are in need of both blue chip talent and they're in need of depth. And even though they don't need as much depth as we might have predicted or we might have thought of prior to free agency happening last week, where they had a plethora of signings, and frankly got me excited for how the season is going to play out, even without the draft. The draft is just the cherry on top with the way that Adam Peters and the front office is moving so far this offseason. But go ahead, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. And if you feel if you're feeling generous, go ahead and send a super chat through. We're going to give you the rightful attention that you deserve. We're going to give you the rightful attention that you deserve. You're going to jump the line. And yeah, we're going to make you feel special, just as you made us feel special by sending that super chat through. But you can send a donation to the Cash App tag across the ticker below. And as always, everything is appreciated. But let's get into this stream, man. Let's get into our mock draft and let's see what they're talking about in the chat. Let's see. Let me get into the chat. My man, Master Andrew, what's up, buddy? What's up, gang? How are you? Ranger Teach 323. What's up, gang? How you? Can you do one mock drafting a wide receiver first round and do one mock drafting a wide receiver third round and then compare to see what mock is better for us? I appreciate the suggestion. We just gonna go how the draft plays out. Now, we'll guarantee that if it makes sense for a wide receiver to be on the board, then that is what we're going to do. Because if you guys have been tapped into Commander Land, if you guys have been tapped into Commander social media, you know it's a rising, it's a steaming train, a steaming hype train for this one prospect that I've been trying to tell you guys about for a couple of weeks. You know, I staked my flag on January 17th as him being the best wide receiver in the draft, while everybody is talking about a Carnell Tate, while everybody is talking about a Mekhi Lemon, and rightfully so. Those guys are talented prospects. Y'all let me know in the chat who was the first one to tell y'all about Jordan Tyson in the NFL community, in the draft community. Y'all let me know who was the first one to tell you about Jordan Tyson, because with all the defensive moves that the Commanders have made, it seems more and more inevitable and likely that their selection at 7 is going to be an offensive playmaker, specifically a skill position guy on that side of the ball. And with the signings of, you know, Rashard White, Jerome Ford, and Jeremy McNichols being our latest signing that we actually had today. I'm sorry, I think I've been spoken and said I don't think we had any signings today. We did re-sign Jeremy McNichols. We do have 4 running backs on the roster. So it seems as if Adam Peters and company and crew might have an inkling that Jeremiah Love might not be available at 7. So with it being more and more likely that we draft an offensive playmaker with us addressing so many needs during the first week of free agency, I think Jordan Tyson to the Washington Commanders makes a lot of sense. And it's starting to pick up steam, as I said, throughout Commander circles. I've seen people even try to put smut with Jordan Tyson's name and talk about him as something that he isn't. I'll tell you what he is. He's the most talented wide receiver in this draft. Now, are the injuries are concerned? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll be the first to say it. And I said it on my guy Rio Robinson's channel, where we actually did a video yesterday recapping or going in depth on what I believe Jordan Tyson is as a prospect. Shout out to my guy Future Willie. What's up, gang? How are you? And I said in that video, I said, yeah, Jordan Tyson's injury rap sheet concerns me. When you look at it on paper, it does look nasty. You look at his 2022 injury as a true freshman coming out of Colorado, where he impacted every ligament in his knee. It looked like a Sean Livingston type injury. It looked like the same exact injury that Brandon Ayuk had that some of y'all are praising, or some of y'all are busting it open for the Commanders to potentially be signing, whatever the fuck the 49ers are doing with him. I don't think we're going to trade for him, and we better not trade for that goddamn contract. But he impacted every ligament in his knee in 2022, but he just so happened to come back from that injury and be arguably the best wide receiver in the country, Jeremiah Smith included. Because if we could go back to the 2024 season, yeah, Jeremiah Smith is a demigod. Demigod is a prospect at the wide receiver position. He's the best wide receiver prospect since Julio Jones. But he didn't really break out until the 2024 playoff. Jordan Tyson might have been the best wide receiver in college football during the 2024 season, and it should have been like that. It should have been like that. The other 2 injuries that people talk about is the broken collarbone. It's football, bro. Like, it's football. Niggas break collarbones every day, B. Niggas break collarbones every day, B. And then the one that does have me the most concerned out of all of them is the hamstring injury. One reason why I'm not as concerned about the ACL injury as one might be led to believe is because, as I said, he came back from it just as explosive as he left. If you look at, because we've really been tapped into college football and we've really been tapped into Jordan Tyson for a while. This isn't just a fan of the moment type thing. You go back to Jordan Tyson's 2022 season at Colorado. Bro was a deep threat, right? Now, does he have that shit? He looked like he was running sub 4.4 at that time. Does he have that type of juice? I don't think so, if I'm being 100% honest with you, but I do think he has sub 4.45 juice, and he's an elite route runner and a twitched up route runner at this point. A way more refined route runner than he was coming out of Colorado. And when you're comparing Jordan Tyson, as I said in my video the other day, I said it on Rio's channel, if you really did like old school, I'm about to show my age here, pros versus Joe style, like you got wide receivers just lined up in a black unmarked jersey, unlogo, nothing, white pants, white helmet. You send Jordan Tyson, Carnell Tate, and Mekhi Lemon out there to go do a wide receiver workout. Ain't no scout picking anybody other than Jordan Tyson. I stand on that. If you don't know anything about the injuries, and they do play a part, but I'm not letting my concern about the injuries supersede what I believe Jordan Tyson's talent to be. I'm just not doing it. I'm not. And I'm not letting the fact that we were the fucking mash unit last year, where we had guys fall by the wayside, impact what I believe Jordan Tyson can be. Because that, like, it's not Jordan Tyson's fault Austin Eckler's Achilles blew up in the smithereens. It's not Jordan Tyson's fault Terry McLaurin decided to miss all the training camp, got ran down in the play that he got injured on, and subsequently got injured and missed half of the season. It's not Jordan Tyson's fault that Dietrich Wise's quad blew up. Like that, those aren't Jordan Tyson's fault. So I'm not going to let that impact my thought process in drafting him. Now, you wanted to talk about his injury concerns as a one-off. I get it. We can talk about it. But as I said, I believe in the talent so much that I'm not going to let it supersede what I think that he's going to be at the NFL level. As I've said before, I know some y'all love Terry McLaurin, and I love Terry McLaurin too. I used to say just as much as the next man, but I don't even think that no more, because some of y'all talk crazy about Terry McLaurin like he's some fictional character, like he's some folklore or something. But he's an amazing wide receiver. But I can see a scenario where Jordan Tyson could come in and potentially be the wide receiver one on the roster, not from day one, but at some point in his rookie year. And why would we be mad at a life where Terry McLaurin is the best wide receiver two in football at the age of 31? Like, can we temper our expectations on Terry McLaurin for 1 second and be realistic? Because that would be a damn good way to age out for his career and potentially his last couple of years with the Washington Commanders. What's good, bro? Fuck it. Jordan Tyson. Gang, you already know what I'm talking about. Jordan Tyson, I ain't going to say Jordan Tyson will die, but hey, Jordan Tyson or nah, because I ain't Jordan. Y'all saw my, or if you really been tapped into the channel, you saw my post combine big board. Jordan Tyson was number 5 on my big board. He was the highest offensive player, but a lot of that hasn't changed. I still would take some guys over Jordan Tyson if they fail. I don't think some of the guys on the big board that were higher than Jordan Tyson at the time are going to fall. But I think it's more and more likely that we select an offensive player on the side of the ball, on that side of the ball. And if it's not going to be Jeremiah Love, y'all let me know who's going to be. Kenyon Sadiq? Y'all let me know if it's not going to be Jeremiah Love, because it's looking more and more likely that he's going to be drafted by the New York Giants or the Tennessee Titans. Y'all let me know who is it going to be. Because I know some of y'all like Carnell Tate, but I just can't get past the fact that he went against cornerback twos all season with coverage rolled away from him, had hella free releases, and I mean, good wide receiver. But as I said, I know if you've been tapped into the channel, you know we got a real keen eye when scouting defensive backs and wide receivers. It's just a movement thing, you know. We just know what we're looking at and know what we're looking for at where those skill positions are concerned. I was the one calling George Pickens wide receiver 1 in the 2022 draft, even though I love, Garrett Wilson. I love Chris Olave. I was the one, no draft pundits, not a Daniel Jeremiah. All the ones that y'all talk about, word is gospel. Wasn't nobody talking about George Pickens wide receiver 1. And who's had the most dominant season of them guys so far? Who's looked like the most dominant wide receiver? Yeah, their career numbers are comparable, but if you were drafting a wide receiver today, which one of those wide receivers are you taking out of the 2022 draft? You let me know. Live like live. What's up, gang? While I like the analysis of Tyson, Lemon, and Tate being the top 3 wide receivers in the ball, only real ballers know that Chris Bell was in the conversation before injury. I don't know if he was in the conversation for wide receiver 1, but he was in first round consideration for sure, and I still like Chris Bell. I hope there's a scenario where And everybody talking about, oh, you can't draft injured wide receivers. I think the two of the best prospects in this draft are injured wide receivers in Jordan Tyson and Chris Bell. And if there's a scenario tonight or in real life come April where Chris Brown falls to 71, I would be fucking ecstatic. You go look back and look at what Chris Bell did against Miami and against all of that man-to-man coverage, and what Carnell Tate did against Miami in that man-to-man coverage. As I've mentioned before, there's a reason why Carnell Tate had the worst game of his season against Miami this past year. No, it's not because the big lights. It's not because it was college football. He can't deal with the big lights. He can't deal with the spotlight. Nah, it's not any of that. It's because in the Big Ten, specifically when you're going against a bunch of cornerback twos, and when you got Jeremiah Smith on your team, teams are not going to run a lot of man-to-man. Carnell Tate excels at finding weak zones in coverage and identifying coverages. I'm not spending a top 10 pick on that. Y'all see, I am capable of giving Carnell Tate some flowers. I am capable of being objective about Carnell Tate, contrary to what some of y'all believe. Carnell Tate probably has the best hands in the class. But when you face that man-to-man coverage, that press coverage, like teams are going to run more and more in the NFL, when you're not off the line of scrimmage, when you have to be a X wide receiver in some potential scenarios, when you don't have the attention of Jeremiah, don't have the benefit of all the attention going to Jeremiah Smith, what are you going to do then? And we saw a glimpse of what it's going to look like against Miami when they dared to play Ohio State in man-to-man, and Carnell Tate looked like me out that motherfucker. It just is what it is. And I don't think that it's a coincidence that he has the worst numbers outside of the top 3 wide receivers as far as yards per game against top 25 teams, because those teams are the teams that have the personnel that are confident enough to line up man-to-man on some occasions against Ohio State and those plethora of weapons that they have. Northwestern, yeah, they known for their dominant defensive side of the ball. They play in zone all fucking game. And you're not about to tell me that these cornerback twos against Northwestern are better than some of the cornerback ones that Jordan Tyson was facing at Baylor and Texas Tech, man. Like, we acting like the Big 12 just ain't produced no solid DBs. Soft tissue injuries be lingering like hell. If that hamstring injury is good, I'll be cool with him at 7. Facts, King Lumslow. And that's why I said that's the biggest injury that I'm concerned about. I hope that he didn't participate in the combine just because he's so confident that he's going to be available and be 100% at his pro day, which I believe is March 26th or 28th, one of those days. But if he's not available to participate in his pro day and he doesn't do anything on the field, then I am going to raise calls for pause. Then I am going to raise a little bit of caution, because that's going to lead me to believe that the medical red flags are there. And, you know, some reports, I don't know if they've been verified. I don't know if they've been back as credible and said that, like, his medical reports and his medical checks from Indy at the combine have brought up some red flags. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. I don't think it has been validated by anybody, though. But like I said, I'm betting on the talent. If I could get 4 or 5 dominant years on a rookie contract from a receiver that's 21 years old at the time, I'm taking that every time. We glazed 5 years of Terry McLaurin, and then we look up and look, he was a 29-year-old wide receiver at that point. So I'll take 5 productive years because we clearly are satisfied, and rightfully so. Like, I'm not knocking y'all, but if Jordan Tyson gives me 5 years of 1,000 yards on his rookie contract, why would I be mad if he suffers an injury that impacts his career on his second contract? Like, y'all can't just be moving the goalposts for who y'all like now. It has nothing to do with being scarred from Terry Eklund, whoever else has his own extensive injury. What's scary hell with, and that's what's scary hell with anybody else. I think I touched on that. I didn't mention Jordan Tyson's injuries as a one-off. I think I touched on that injury issue, but it does have to do with Eckler, Terry. That's why I mentioned Dietrich Wise. I didn't just talk about Terry. That's why I brought up Dietrich Wise. But it does have to do with those guys when you say, oh, no, we can't draft Jordan. And I'm not saying that you said it, Tracy, but I've heard it over and over again too many times to just ignore. When they're like, oh, no, we can't draft Jordan Tyson because of the season that we had this year. that has everything to do with the current guys on the roster. Because you're letting what happened to them impact what you think about Jordan Tyson. It has everything to do with that. Injury issues are important to AP. Look at his signings this offseason. Most guys have missed few games. I think talent is also important to AP. I think having the best player available is important to AP. And if AP thinks Jordan Tyson is the best player available, I'm not saying that Jordan Tyson is going to be the pick. I'm saying that he should be the pick if it's a decision between him and Carnell Tate. Like I told you, there's some guys that if they fall, I'm still taking over Jordan Tyson. That will hopefully the scenario plays out in the mock draft simulator. I think the most ideal situation or scenario is trading back and potentially still being able to snag Jordan Tyson. But as I mentioned in the previous streams, if Jordan Tyson's medical history checks out as clean and all the teams around the NFL have those reports, Jordan Tyson isn't falling outside the top 12, top 14 at worst. So you can't trade back, but so far back. Y'all go ahead and smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Send a super chat through if you're feeling so generous, feeling so kindly, so you can jump the line and we give you the rightful attention that you deserve. I appreciate you guys spending your Monday evening, your Monday night with us over here at Bleeding BNG. I need a new task, or what we calling it, a new mission to accomplish. I get 10 super chats through, I'm wearing a different suit. Y'all send 10 super chats through, I'm wearing another suit on my Black Adam shit. I had to break out the burgundy suit with the burgundy and gold tie a couple streams ago. I think that was the last mock draft Monday we did. Y'all send 10 super chats through, we wearing a different suit next week or whenever we get 10 super chats on the stream. That's my commitment to y'all. Y'all see I came through the last time. Y'all send at least 10 super chats through. We walking the suit on stream, a different one. I might go double-breasted on y'all next time with a turtleneck. I don't know, just how I'm feeling. Kevin Robertson, 8442. What's up, gang? How you? I fucks with Tyson too, my guy. He does move like a tier 1 wide receiver, though. Talk about it. And when you talking about wide receivers, bro, you got to start scouting the movement and stop scouting the helmet, bro. Yeah, everybody talks about the Ohio State pedigree, and that pedigree is amazing, right? Y'all know who also came from Ohio State? Noah Brown. It ain't like every Ohio State wide receiver is just a hit. Y'all know who also came from Ohio State as a wide receiver? Braxton Miller. Y'all know who also came from Ohio State as a wide receiver? Devin Smith. So, yeah, their pedigree is amazing. But we can't just say, oh, they went to Ohio State. Oh, they a shoo-in. Like, no, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. I like Jeremiah Love had pick 7 for us. I would like Jeremiah Love to be the pick too, but I really don't think that he's going to get the 5. I mean, get the 7. Excuse me. I think he's going to be drafted in the top 5. But I asked y'all in the chat, go ahead and let me know who was the first one in the content community that told y'all about who was the first one y'all heard Jordan Tyson from. I just want to do a little survey in the chat. It ain't even got to be me. Y'all let me know who was the first one that told y'all about Jordan Tyson. What's up, brother, man? Give me Tyson at 7 and build it. Come on. Now we talking my language. Now we talking my language. Michael Moses 7146. What Dre say? Now you talking my language. Now you talking my language. I think Logan Paulson even mentioned that in the latest Take Command episode. Flirting with the idea of drafting 2 wide receivers, and if those 2 wide receivers are Jordan Tyson and Chris Bell, hey, guess what? Guess what? At that point, you doubling down on the injury, on banking on the injury to the point that if one of them motherfuckers hit, you got a dominant wide receiver for JD5. You just increasing your likelihood of one of those wide receivers to hit. I'm not mad at it. And I think with the moves that we've made this free agency, especially on the defensive side of the ball, I don't think we need anybody on the defensive side of the ball to be a much better defense than we were. I don't even think we need to be a top 5 defense with a quarterback like Jayden Daniels. Would we like to be? Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me touch on these free agent signings before I get back to the chat and before we start mock drafting. Odafe Owe, edge. Rashad White, running back. Leon Chenal might be arguably my favorite free agent signing. Who's y'all favorite free agent signing so far? And let me know why in the chat. Who's your favorite free agency signing so far? And let me know why in the chat. Amik Roberson, cornerback. Caleb Von Chasen, edge. Chig Okonkwo, bringing him back home. University of Maryland product at tight end. Bringing Tim Settle Jr. back home. Former Washington Redskin and Washington football teamer. Bringing Nick Cross back home. So we got a lot of local flavor with this free agent class. Bowie, Maryland native. And somebody who's the self-proclaimed pride of Bowie. I've been living out here since I was in the 7th grade. Bought a house in Bowie. Don't dox me. But yeah, somebody is the self-proclaimed pride of Bowie. We got the best athletes in PG. Debate your mother. And I'm super excited and I'm geeked up that Nick Cross is a Washington Commander. We brought De'Ami Brown back home. God damn. Hella homecoming. No Beyonce. Van Jefferson, Charles Omenihu, Marcus Mariota, Jerome Ford, and we re-signed Jeremy McNichols today. Okay, so Keontae Scott had Cardinal Tate and that had him locked up like an Akon single in 04. Would you take a center at pick 71 for the Commanders? I would entertain it. I think, as I've touched on before, we got to remember, is it Chris Stapleton or David Stapleton who's the current or the new offensive line coach for the Washington Commanders? We got to remember he was at the Senior Bowl, so he's had his hands on pause all of these center prospects and guard prospects with the potential of playing center that were down in Mobile, Alabama. So I think that there might be a guy in the 100s that they might even like. Not saying that they're going to bank on him to be a day one starter, but can you bring him in to compete with Nick Allegretti? And maybe Nick Allegretti mans it down for the beginning of the year and they ultimately take over just being because they're more talented. We'll love to see it, but I would entertain it. I don't know how many great value picks you're going to get at center at 71. Maybe a Sam Heck from Kansas State, or maybe if you're converting one of those offensive guards in the center. I like what's buddy from Georgia Tech? Is it Jackie Slater? I think Slater's from Florida. What CB will we draft in the later rounds? In my opinion, we should draft at least 2. Would you consider the later rounds? I'm a big advocate of drafting Julian Neal, cornerback from Arkansas, in the 2nd or the 3rd round at 71. Yeah, I'd be super excited if that happened. What are the chances that a team like the Giants or Brown pick Tate before us leaving Tyson for the taking? I don't know if it's likely because I think that I can see the Browns picking Tate. And if I was doing a mock draft for all 32 teams, I would probably mock Carnell Tate to the Cleveland Browns. I think it makes a lot of sense, and a lot of people aren't talking about that. Jerry Jeudy's their wide receiver 1, right? Like, it don't get much worse than that. I think we got to let go of what Alabama Jerry Jeudy was and be realistic about what he's been in the league. Depends on how Quinshon Judkins is rehabbing and how he's progressing. Their offensive line was a little shaky last year, and I get why a lot of people are mocking offensive tackles to Cleveland. But I can see the Cleveland Browns drafting Carnell Tate for the simple fact that they're a bad franchise, and bad franchises care about shit like selling tickets and keeping Ohio State guy home in Ohio, pairing them with a guy like Shador. Even no matter what you think about Shador, that'd be like a marketing money scheme. And y'all know owners and shit care about shit like that. What impact do you think Hines Ward had on Tyson? I think it made him a hellified blocker. Not saying that he's a Hines Ward level blocker, but Jordan Tyson put up 26 reps on the bench. Anybody that played under Hines Ward at the wide? Oh, we got a super. I told you supers get the rightful attention that they deserve. My dog Tyson all the way. Shout out Dubs family. Y'all go ahead and send them super chats through if you want to jump the line like my man Dubs family. Yeah. You let me know. Hey, Dubs family, who was the first one to let you know about Jordan Tyson? You might have just been tapped into college football, but I swear nobody in the Washington content community was talking about Jordan Tyson before a couple days ago. I wonder what changed. But yeah, just talking about the impact that Hines Ward could have potentially had on Jordan Tyson. Like I said, you're not going to be able to play under Hines Ward if you're not able to block. And he had 26 reps on the bench press, so we can tell that, like, yeah, I mean, it ain't a workout, right? It's football, but that shows that the blocking ain't just all effort. Like, he coming with something when he coming with it. Pause. Like, when he blocking it, he coming with something. He coming with 26 reps on the bench press behind him. So he could definitely, that's why I don't really understand the concerns about him beating press. Yeah, it's a couple of reps where he got jammed up. Every wide receiver got a couple of reps in college football where they got jammed up. I can show you a rep where Jeremiah Smith got jammed up. Does that mean that he's not the best wide receiver prospect since Julio Jones? But guess what? You're going to convince yourself into what you believe based off of the guys you like. I get it. I'm a U fan, and Carnell Tate was in the Matrix just like some games with. Oh, chill. Don't talk about it. They're gonna start flaming me in the chat because you talked about Terry McLaurin and Michael Moses. Why you do that to me, bro? They're gonna start acting like I put some smut on his name, bro. Kevin Robinson, Ava Cooling. Chig for me. Chig was your favorite free agent signing. Tim Settle Jr. is my favorite pickup. Shit, I like all of them niggas equal. They serve the same purpose, but if I had to choose one, it's going to be my man 5, help the new dynamic. Oh, Chig. So Carnell Tate giving you Rashad Bateman like vibe. No, he better than Rashad Bateman. But they run along the same archetype. They definitely run along the same archetype. I think he's better than him, though. I think he's tougher than Rashad Bateman. I think he got stronger hands than Rashad Bateman. But they definitely run along the same archetype. I've told y'all, my comp for Carnell Tate is Michael Crabtree. Everybody talk about how Carnell Tate was a deep threat at Ohio State, despite him running a 4.5, and how Michael Crabtree wasn't a deep threat in the NFL. Michael Crabtree was a deep threat at Texas Tech, bro. Michael Crabtree, go watch some. Y'all must have been too young to watch some Michael Crabtree Texas Tech highlights. Just tapped in. My uncle is a retired college football coach. When he says something, I listen. What's your uncle say? He said Jordan Tyson the 1, not the 2, didn't he? I already know it because if he know ball, I know that's what he said. Y'all let us know what your uncle said. But enough of me rambling, man. I'm about to go ahead and start my mock, the first mock of 2 mock drafts. Y'all let me know. We going BPA, we going best player available and sticking with the picks that we have, or we going with the trade back scenario first? We're doing 2 mocks tonight using the NFL mock draft database. Y'all let me know. We going BPA first or trade back scenario? Yep, he said he's him. Tell him. Your uncle knows ball. Your uncle knows ball. I appreciate the super too, Dubs family. Appreciate you spending your Monday evening, your Monday night with us over here at Bleeding B&G. Man, y'all a little dead in the chat. What we talking about? We going BPA? We going trade back? I got 200 people watching this stream. What we not talking tonight? What we doing? What we doing? Don't make me go ahead and get my own command caucus. I will storm out of Ashburn right now and pick up some niggas off the street to come join me in this war room. Come talk to me. BPA. We going BPA. Y'all always like going BPA first, bruh. Try BPA. I can't do both first, Poster King. I can't do both first, Poster King. All right, we'll do BPA. My guy Tracy, my guy, both said BPA. So let's tap into the BPA. Let me go ahead and make this screen a little bigger so y'all can see. This nasty ass ad out the way. All right. Only thing with these goddamn mock draft sites, these ads be fucking nasty. All right. Washington Commanders, 7 rounds. Fast. Enter the draft room. Best player available. So we sticking with the picks we have. And let's get into it. Like I said, I think Adam Peters has set himself up where he can attack the draft any which way based off of how he attacked free agency. So BPA or trade back scenario doesn't hurt. He's a coach, Chris Cooley. There's names for it. He coached Chris Cooley, Jeremy Chan, just a few names for us. Oh yeah, so he definitely know ball. Jordan Tyson's him. I mean, I ain't need his credentials. If he said that Jordan Tyson was him, I could tell that he knew ball. Do what you think Adam is going to do. Best player available. If Sonny or Bailey or Love not there, BPA Tyson is good, but not elite. Do you think that? All right, let me riddle you this, Ron, man. Do you think that there's any elite wide receivers in this draft? Do you think any receivers are elite in this draft? Just picking your brain, genuinely asking. Let me know. All right, about to get into my draft. And like I said, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Send a super chat through if you want to leave a donation. You can hit the Cash App tag at the bottom. And I told you, super chats get the special attention that they deserve. So you want to be my Lance Newmark? Go ahead. You want to be the star of the stream? Go ahead. You want to join us in the war room? You want to really be a part of this Commander Caucus? Go ahead and send it through. But let's go ahead and smash that start button. All right. Damn, this joint really fast. All right, we're going best player available. So we got 2 trade offers, but we're not going to entertain them. All right, so who was picked? Let's see who was picked. Mendoza went 1 to the Raiders. Sonny Styles. God damn. Sonny Styles went 2 to the Jets. Francis Mayoga, right tackle from the Miami Hurricanes, went 3 to the Cardinals. Ruben Bain, 4 to the Titans. Arvell Reese, 5 to the Giants. Shout out to winning that meaningless ass game against the Philadelphia Eagles, because it would have kept us from drafting Arvell Reese in this scenario. And Monroe Fairling, tackle from offensive tackle from Georgia, went 6 to the Cleveland Browns. So names on the board are David Bailey, Jeremiah Love, Caleb Downs, Carnell Tate, Spencer Fano, Mansour Delaney, Mikal Lemon, Jordan Tyson, Jamal McCoy. Going best player available. I think it's more and more likely that we draft on the offensive side of the ball. Y'all let me know what y'all would do here, because I'm thinking Jeremiah Love. If we drafting Jeremiah Love, heart emojis in the chat. Nope, I'm not saying it. They are not better than Neighbors, Brown, or Lamb. I think CeeDee Lamb is one of Jordan Tyson's player comps, though. I see similar movements, the way that they can win on the inside and the outside. I do agree. I'm not going to say that I agree with that, but I do think that, yeah, I do see similar. That's his player comp for me. We got another super. My man, Michael Moses, I appreciate the super. Just facts, bro. Terry being the Matrix a lot. Oh, you preaching to the choir, bro. You are preaching to the choir, bro. You are preaching to the choir. I don't know if you was tapped into this channel all last year when I took the bullets in the fan base. Not even necessarily throwing smut on Terry's name, but I was the one in May of last year, before all of it happened, that said that the contract negotiations was going to go the way that the contract negotiations were going to go. And they did. Oh, yeah, Love for sure if he's there. Love it. Heart emojis. Oh, yeah, we fell in love. I need some more heart emojis in the chat. We going Jeremiah Love. He there. Commander's not getting love at 7. Hey, man, that's just the way that the board played out today. I would be lying if I said that this isn't realistic. I'll be lying if I said that I don't see a scenario where this could happen. Like, I definitely can see a scenario where if we flip Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles, and Reese goes 2 and Sonny Styles goes 5, I can see Ruben Bain going to the Titans. I can see Malga going to the Cardinals. I can see Freeland going to the Browns. All right, bet we're going Jeremiah Love in the chat. All right, I got heart emojis. I got what I was looking for. Oh, I got a Bailey. Got a couple Baileys. King Loso said Bailey. Y'all don't think that Odafe Owe and David Bailey win in similar ways? You don't think that'll be a little redundant? Odafe Owe signed the longest contract here. I was tuned in, brother, and you spoke it. Yeah. Yeah. We going Love here. What game was Terry in the Matrix in 2024? Philadelphia Eagles. At Philadelphia Eagles. That's just one off the top of my head. That's just one off the top of my head. Not putting Smutto and Terry McLaurin's name. I'm just telling you the truth. Love Terry McLaurin. So who's wide receiver 4, 5, and 6 in this year's draft? Not named Bryce Love. I think Chris Brazil is in there. Casey Concepcion is in there. And Chris Bell, if he's not a top 3 because of injury. Because I would arguably take Chris Bell before Cardell Tate if he wasn't injured, if he didn't tear his ACL and was currently recovering from it. So I would say those 3, in my opinion. Are we going Love? Got another Bailey. Who need Love when you have a Rachaad White? One of them running backs getting cut at that point. We saw Rachaad White got a $2 million deal. I don't know if the numbers are. I think Jeremy McNichols said 1.7. So all them got contracts where you can cut bait with them at any point. That being said, Styles will be the best linebacker in the division. Love the best running back. Bailey the best edge in the division. Wide receiver would be 5th or 6th best. Interesting argument. Would Bailey be the best edge in the division? Yeah, no, Bailey not better than Brian Burns. Not yet. I don't think Bailey better than Nolan Smith either. But I feel the argument. I love the best running back in the division. Better than you thinking Saquon Wash? If you thinking Saquon Wash, we can talk about it. I'm all for a hot take. Styles, yeah, I think Styles might be the best off-ball linebacker in the division from day one. I can see that. The J Love consensus to the Titans feels like smoke to me, to be honest. Who you think the Titans go with? A defensive player? They go with an edge? AJ Terrell had Terry in a jail cell. Chill. He did, though. Really? That game, Jaden was hurt. He was hurt against the Falcons? I don't think Jaden was hurt against the Falcons. We need pass rushers. Don't want 225 happening again. We got like 3 pass rushes. With Caleb Chason, Odafe Owe, Charles Omenihu. They don't spark your interest. Falcons game, Dallas game, first game before. Oh yeah, AP don't like running backs that high. I mean, do we really know what AP like? They traded a bunch of draft capital for Christian McCaffrey when he was in San Francisco. Granted, it wasn't a first round pick, but they traded a bunch of draft capital for him. Am I crazy to see a little Jamar Chase and Jordan Tyson when it comes to running route, especially the slant? I can see the slant. I think Jordan Tyson runs along the same archetype as a Justin Jefferson, a CeeDee Lamb, and a Chad Ochocinco. Those are all guys that excel before the ball were in their hands. They were not necessarily the most dynamic pass catchers, giving you a lot of yards after the catch, but they won with releases and stacking guys immediately with footwork. But when you said off the slant, as far as like jabs and hesitations, I can see that. I can see that when you get hyper specific like that. I think I'm going Jordan Love here. I think I'm going Jordan Love just simply because we going best player available. And I think that him or Caleb Downs are probably the best players available right now. All right, Jordan Love, you are already Washington Commander. How we feeling about that pick? Thumbs up in the chat if you feeling that pick. Super chats in the chat if you feeling that pick. Damn, we back on the board already. That's how I know that last laptop was fried. Back on the board at 71. We've got our running back for the future. Gabe Jacques, Jackie Slaughter. That's who I was talking about. Just went off the board. Max Clear, LJ Overton. D'Angelo Pons is the highest name available. Jeremy Bernard. I think I'm going to. I like D'Angelo Pons, but I can't have the look at an Irish ass, leprechaun ass cornerback room where all my cornerbacks are below 5'9". Like, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Not when I'm going against AJ Brown and George Pickens. Like, we just setting ourselves up for a fucking humiliation ritual at that point. So who's available? We got D'Angelo Pons. We got Ginnings, Dunker. What centers are available? Keelan Rutledge, Sam Heck. I think Keelan Rutledge is a guy that he played guard at Georgia Tech. I think he's a guy that can slide into center, played basketball. I love his measurables. I like Sam Heck measurables as well. I think Keelan Rutledge will be a damn good pick here, especially if you converting him to guard. Keith Abney is another pick as well. Who we going with here, chat? Who we going with here, chat? Let's see what the chat talking about. Eagles game. Daryl Deloach. What's up, gang? How you? We good at edge right now. Oh, wait. Facts. Then pass rushes mid. Give me one. Blue chipper. I think Owe a little better than mid, bro. I think Owe a little better than mid. Kaylavon Chason was better than mid last year, too. Now, that's why I said last year. Could that have been a flash in the pan year because he was in his contract year? Maybe. But he was better than mid last year. Saquon is every other running back. Look at his numbers. Saquon is not washed, but tired. He carried the Eagles offense the last 2 years. I ain't mad at the take, man. I wasn't arguing you. I ain't mad at the take at all. Is Tate a byproduct of having talent on the opposite side? Basically, is he really that good? Oh, you just tapped into the stream. You just got hit legendary one. That's one of the reasons why Tate ain't my wide receiver one. Y'all go watch Carnell Tate's film and watch how many free releases he has and how many times the safety is rolled away from his coverage. Why you think he able to run those fucking posts that he does downfield where he don't even got to cross the safety's face? Them niggas are paying so much attention to Jeremiah Smith. So I'm sorry that he does play with Jeremiah Smith, but the facts are the facts. That Bane Bailey hype is too ridiculous for me. Chad Ochocinco. What's up, Bear Rock? What, you don't think Tyson play like Ochocinco? What, I'm glazing with that comp? I mean, I did give two other ones. I think they all run along the same arc. Jalen, who's your sleepers in the draft? As far as what? You got to give me some positions. You got to give me some positions as far as sleepers in the draft. I like DeMoine Clark. I think Taylor Green's going to go higher than people expect, not just because of the workout. Sleepers in the draft. I don't think Ted Hurst is a sleeper anymore. I like Ted Hurst. I like Skylar Bell from UConn. I don't think Chris Johnson is a sleeper anymore. I like Chris Johnson, cornerback from San Diego State. Shit. Yeah, I like a lot of guys. That's why you got to be more specific. I like Julian Barham. I like Kendall Daniels. Jeremy Bernard is tough. And he tested a lot better than I thought. Outside Jaden in 24, Terry was the offense. I'm 100, but see what y'all expect from it. Bro, why? Oh, my. See, this. What do I always say, y'all? I don't dislike Terry McLaurin. I dislike the discourse we try to have around Terry McLaurin. Why, when we start spitting facts, we got to start going on like a Terry McLaurin defend tour? Like, it's not shitting on Terry, bro. Have I not said that I love Terry McLaurin as much as the next one? Why do I have to give a disclaimer every time that I talk about Terry McLaurin? Y'all got to stop being so sensitive about Terry McLaurin, bro. Y'all got to. I know out of all the content creators, you was the first one saying Tyson was him. I appreciate it, live like live. I need acknowledgement. If I got it, then tell me I got it then. Come on, bro. There we go. Freak nasty. There we go. Freak nasty. Freaky ass rock eye. There we go. I did say that. No pause. No Diddy. We talking football. I get a little provocative on the timeline when I'm talking football. It gets the people going. Bernard would be a better pro. He's closer to JSN types than Lemon. I don't disagree with that take. I don't. Do you think AP going to use the 7 pick to add more picks, center and corner? Maybe. Nah, make what make sense? Make what make sense? That there were some games that he got clamped last year? Like, make what make sense? Or in 24, off of a question that you brought up? Hey, bro, you hate Terry. It's all good. We passed that. There we go again. I hate Terry, but I got autographed Terry McLaurin jersey. Nah, y'all niggas see, and then y'all get mad when I start disrespecting y'all. Nah, y'all niggas glaze Terry. Y'all niggas think Terry McLaurin ain't something that he ain't. Y'all niggas be busting it wide open for Terry McLaurin. Niggas busted open for a fucking 1,000-yard season. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about? What the fuck are we talking about? Stop. Don't stop putting words in my mouth, bro. Terry McLaurin fry. I say that Terry McLaurin fry. Stop acting like this nigga is fucking Jamar Chase. 2024, Terry McLaurin was the second best wide receiver in the league with 1,098 yards. Terry McLaurin with 1,098 yards was the best wide receiver in the league last year. Second best wide receiver in the league last year. With 1,098 yards. Then they're going to bring up the touchdowns, and we got to talk about it because I've gotten in front of all of this. Got in front of all of the Terry McLaurin. No, Tracy, no. This the type of shit you put the battery in niggas' backs when you say shit like, "Oh no, you hate Terry McLaurin." No, don't disagree with the nigga now. No, don't disagree with the nigga now. Nah, don't do that. Don't do that. Because that's the type of shit that them niggas believe. And then they get mad when I don't agree with that. And then you validate it when you say, "Oh, nah, bro, you hate Terry." These niggas think they're he said it himself. Second best wide receiver in the league, bro. Stop. Y'all trying to see a nigga crash out on a Monday night. Terry McLaurin is not average. He better than average, but he damn sure ain't no JSN or Peak or Puka Nakua. Man, let's get in the draft. Y'all about to make me crash out. Y'all ain't sending enough supers for me to raise my blood pressure enough for this. I'm thinking about going Keatlin Rutledge here. I do want to go cornerback. I can't do D'Angelo Pons though. Him, Amik Roberson, and Mikey Sanders still, nah. I can't do that. I just can't have the Smurfs cornerback room. Now, Keith Abney at 6 feet might be somebody that sparked my interest. I'm going to go Caitlin Rutledge here. I mean, we going BPA, though. We going BPA. We going to Keith Abney. We need a center, though. We need a corner and a center, though. Come on, Keith Abney, you're a Washington Commander. Nah, bro. Don't be laughing me out, Prada. Don't be laughing me out, bro. That's what they be doing, bro. They be trying to get me out my body. All right, we back on the board at 147. So we drafted Keith Abney and Jeremiah Love, a cornerback, and a offensive guard who I think can convert the center. Best players on the board are Austin Barber, Jacoby Lane, Katron Allen, Billy Schroff, Tim Keenan, Caleb Proctor, Xavier Harris, who I think can be a nose tackle in this 3-4 fit. I saw somewhere that they said Parker Brailsford was taking center snaps. I think Billy Stroff might be too good a value to pass up here. Or do we double down with the wide receiver? Or do we take Harold Perkins? See, this AP has set us up where we could go so many ways. I think Harold Perkins can also be a fit. Where we going? Where we going, chat? I gotta lean on the chat. Where we going? We going Xavier Harris. We going Harold Perkins. We going Billy Stroff. Where we going? Hey, my man. My first super chat ever because I appreciate the super, Ron, man. You said it and I respect that. No one will put him in a lead chair like Chase, JSN, GP. I appreciate the super chat. Hey, Ron, man, we've been saying this for a minute, and I love Terry McLaurin. Y'all go back when y'all finish watching this stream. Y'all go back. It's a video. If y'all got time. If y'all don't, I really don't give a damn. Y'all go back and watch a video when Terry McLaurin signed his first contract extension in 2022. I said that Terry McLaurin was better than AJ Brown at the time because I honestly believed it. And I say all of this to say that when I'm one of those guys, and this shouldn't make me special, and I don't believe it does. This shouldn't make me special, and I don't believe it does. But when new data is presented to me, I'm a big believer, and I'm allowed to change my mind. So in 2022, in that video, I was practically glazing Terry McLaurin like Hakeem Walker 3028 is doing right now, and got me with fucking veins popping out the side of my neck. I was him. I was that guy. Terry McLaurin sat my fucking chest at training camp. Like, y'all be coming for me. None of y'all done let fucking Terry McLaurin violate y'all like I fucking let Terry McLaurin violate y'all. And one day I will tell the story of why he fucking sat my chest, and because it is a story behind it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell the story now. Bro, we was walking behind the line, and there was some foreigners behind me, and I don't know, they just decided not to understand English in that moment, and I'm not here to insult them. It's just the truth. I was asking them niggas to back up so I could turn around, and them niggas was not trying to back up. And Terry McLaurin was about to walk away. I said, bro, just sign that shit, bro. Just sign that shit. And that's how that story went. I felt like I had to get out in front of that. I've been wanting to get that off my chest for a while now. But yeah, back to what we were talking about. But I love Terry McLaurin, bro. But like you said, he's not no Justin Jefferson. He's not no Jamar. And that's not hate for me to say that. Shout out my guy, Rio Robinson, tapping into the stream. He said, Perk, you popping Perks, Rio? We going Harold Perkins. Which one is it? Harris can get later so we could get Pat Coogan or Fuller from Toledo. The first person I heard about Jay Tyson from a Redskin show creator named Simba, who said that he was told about Jordan Tyson. Then I saw the Rambling reel that featured you. Shout out to Simba. No, I'm not pausing anything, Rio. We're talking football, Rio. Yeah, AP set Terry up to have the best season in his career by sending Jahan to the Eagles. Terry hate is insane. Yeah, you just made it your job to glaze Terry McLaurin today. That's what we doing. That boy from Tennessee. Oh, I love Chris Brazil. And I like Zachariah Branch. I love both of those guys. Damn, we haven't gone wide receiver. Shit, we went Jeremiah Love. We haven't gone wide receiver. What wide receivers are available? Jacoby Lane is the highest rated one. Shit, in this scenario, we better hope that we bring in Brandon Ayuk. So we going Harold Perkins over Jacoby Lane? I'm thinking Jacoby Lane here, chat. Yeah, I'm going Jacoby Lane. I like Harold Perkins. I'm going Jacoby Lane. Nigga, let that man violate his chest. Nah, for real though. Had to tell the story. It's the truth. Had to get out in front of you. You remember that? I was like, excuse me. Them niggas like, I was like, bro, all right. Now we don't. Niggas geeked up to get a motherfucking autograph. They all on my back and shit. We need to get a twitchy wide receiver like Tyson. I've been though. He was like that since I seen him in a destroying video over the years back. Yeah, I seen that 1v1 video, right? I will pay y'all $100 a piece for you and Rio to crash out at pick 7. Hey, don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. Shit, if I love to pick at pick 7, I might run out in my man Pascal's neighborhood with my shirt off. Yes, police. There's a Hispanic African American. I don't know what breed he is. He's running around with his shirt off, talking about love. Or perk. Just subscribe too. I appreciate the subscription. Y'all go ahead, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Flood the chat. If you're feeling generous, send a super chat, hit the cash app, tag below for the donation. If we do some bullshit round one and me and dress, yes, we will. Lane. Who was frying on Lane? I drafted him, guy. What you talking about? I like Terry, but he wasn't better than he almost had. Terry was close. No, this was before 2022. So this was after Terry signed his deal in 2021, right? Yeah. So I think it was the first 3 years. But anyway, I'm not, if you would have looked, even when I was doing that video, Terry McLaurin's stats was arguably better than AJ Brown at the time. So I would argue that. And they calling me the Terry McLaurin hater. Now it's no debate, though. It's no contest. You know, people act like whatever happened in 2019 got to be the same in 2026. Because Terry McLaurin had a better rookie year. He got to be better than him. He got to be better than him. All right, back on the board at pick. What pick is this? Pick 187. So we got in running back in Jeremiah Love, a cornerback in Keith Abney, and a wide receiver in Jacoby Lane. We still need an interior offensive lineman. Pat Coogan is available, which will be great value. He's the 155th player on NFL Mock Draft Databases board. Getting him at pick 187 would be amazing value, and I think we're going to go there. Kevin Coleman still on the board. Josh Cameron. Yeah, let's go Pat Coogan. I think Pat Coogan can be a fit in the wide zone scheme as well. Oh, back on the board. God damn, I forgot they had picked so close to each other. Pick 209. Hezekiah Massis, Drew Shelton, Cole Payton, Kayshawn Elliott, Nadam Tucker, CJ Daniels, Dazon Stribling. Oh, yeah, I'm going Dazon Stribling here. Why is Dazon Stribling always so low on these big boards? What the fuck don't we know about Dazon Stribling? Solid production at Ole Miss, had a hell of a combine, hell of amazing measurables. What the fuck don't we know about Dazon Stribling, bro? So I'm doubling down on wide receiver, even though we didn't draft one high. How is he available at 209? Back on the board at pick 223. And there's some names on the board. Ephesian Prysock, Jeremiah Wright, Jacoby Thomas, Kendall Daniels. Yeah, I'm going to go Kendall Daniels here. Even though he's ranked 262. Inside linebacker, safety, dime linebacker. Think of a Sua Cravens type role when he played in Washington many moons ago. Think that he can be a beneficiary of this positionless defense that Durante Jones has. I think he ran a 4.7 40, which I didn't necessarily love, but if he's playing backer, that's more than adequate enough time. So let's go Kendall Daniels there. Who you taking, prime Terry McLaurin or prime? Oh, y'all niggas getting disrespectful now. I'm taking prime Terry McLaurin, buddy. All right. So, best player available version of the mock draft. Our first version that we're doing tonight, out of the two that we're doing tonight, is done. Jeremiah Love at 7, Keith Abney at 71, Jacoby Lane at 147, Pat Coogan at 187, Dazon Stribling at 209. How we feeling about those picks? Clapping emojis in the chat if we like them. Thumbs up emojis in the chat if we like them. Don't send me your thumb down because I don't give a damn if you don't like it. How we feeling about that pick, chat? How we feeling about this draft class, chat? Jeremiah Love, Keith Abney, Jacoby Lane, Pat Coogan, Deshaun Striblin. How we feeling about this draft class? Fire, my man Prada. Tommy Knapp, thumbs up, my guy. Live like lay. So if we attack the draft, best player available with 5 picks, you can still come out with a solid haul. I think all of these guys can be contributors in their rookie years for a Washington Commander team. I expect them to be back to contenders if Jay and Daniel's healthy next year. It's a reason why I got on the big face Jay in today. I miss my mans. No pause. We talking football. Damn, thumbs up, thumbs up. Y'all about to make me blush. Y'all about to make me a blush. How we feeling? How we feeling about the best player available version of the haul that we got with our 6 draft picks? Let me go ahead and screenshot this so that I can post this later. Y'all go ahead, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button before we start our trade back version of the draft. And y'all know who I'm hoping to get in the trade back version, because I didn't get him in the best player available version, even though I spent the first 30 minutes of the stream talking about him. So let's see what we can do. Washington Commanders, 7-round mock draft, fast, standard, enter the draft room. Let's get into it. We trading back. Y'all go tap into that football foot. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I got it. I gotta get my fix in. I gotta get my fix in. That's the joint he playing in like Dubai, Saudi Arabia, or some shit like that, right? I gotta get my fix in. I'm gonna be in that joint like Tyrone Biggums. I might order like a pizza and some champagne to watch that joint. I gotta see Five play again. He could be throwing to Jack and Jill. I don't give a damn. What's your opinion on Parker Beresford? I think he has good starter potential and potentially will be available at day 3. I like him as a center prospect. I heard that he did some reps of that at the combine. I don't know how he will fit as a wide zone scheme type player. Because while he is athletic, I don't know how well he moves laterally. But I wouldn't be mad at it. And he does have starter potential down the line. I don't necessarily think he'll come in and be an instant starter, but he does have starter potential down the line. I'm not mad at that. All right, so we got 3 super chats. We 7 super chats away from me wearing another suit. Come whatever mock draft Monday that we sent 10 super chats in. I'm wearing another suit like we did a couple of weeks ago on my real Black Adam shit. I'm gonna put on the buffs again, put on the frames again, and get fly. Get fly. That's my next side mission, my next side quest for these mock draft Mondays. So go ahead, smash that like button. We doing the trade back version of the draft now. All right, so Commanders are on the board, and nobody offered anything. Nobody offered anything. So the Commanders on the board. We didn't get any trade offers. Mendoza goes 1, Sonny Styles goes 2, Francis Malga goes 3, David Bailey goes 4, Reese goes 5, Monroe Fielding goes 6. So this is what I'm going to do. Since we're trading back, I'm going to go knock on the Cincinnati Bengals door. I'm going to offer them pick 7 for pick 10. And pick 72. They accepted it. So now I'm back on the board. I've acquired pick 72. The Jacksonville Jaguars are offering pick 88. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Arizona's offering a whole bunch of 2027 draft picks. We're not streaming in 2027, so we're not entertaining those. And the Saints are offering a second rounder at best for pick 10. So we're not entertaining that. So now that we're back on the board at pick 10, Caleb Downs went off the board at pick 7. Carnell Tate went off the board at pick 8. Jamal McCoy went off the board at pick 9. And y'all know who I'm picking. How'd y'all feel about that trade package that I manufactured? Trading back with Cincinnati, going back from pick 7 to 10 and accumulating pick 71, 72, an extra third rounder. So we picked back to back in the third round. They had pick 42. I didn't think that they were going to give us that. That trade wasn't going to get accepted. So yeah, we're back on the board at pick 10 after trading with the Cincinnati Bengals. And do I bury the lead? And do you guys already know who I'm going with here? Jeremiah Love is still on the board. Mansour Delane is still on the board. Mikhail Lemon, Olavege Vage Ione still on the board. But we went Jordan Tyson last time. Yeah, I don't know how the hell NFL mock draft database might be a little broken. I don't know how the hell he's still on the board. But if Jeremiah Love don't go in the top 7, I mean, I ain't trying to validate it. I ain't trying to vindicate what this bullshit that they performing in this simulator right now. But Jordan Tyson, with the 10th pick in the 2026 draft, the Washington Commanders are selecting Jordan Tyson in the trade back. So we will be back on the board at pick 71 and then picking again at pick 72. I really wanted to acquire a second rounder, but I don't think that was possible. All right, so we back on the board. Oh, pick 71 and pick 72. Chris Bell is available. Keith Abney. So I got my pick of the litter right now. Keontae Scott. This is what the fuck I'm talking about. Great trade. Still have plenty of blue chips and picked up a third. I appreciate that. Kawuda. I depend on you and a few others to get a better understanding of the game as far as knowing how to run play sidebar. You know your shit had a major stroke back in January 2016. I appreciate that you still with us, Sean Robinson. I appreciate that you still with us 10 years later. I'm thankful that you still with us. I'm thankful that you rock with my channel, and I appreciate the kind words, my man. Damn. I'm glad that you lean on me as a resource because, as I've said since the first day of Bleeding BNG, the first episode that I've recorded, I want people to use me to be their smartest friend in their friend group when talking football. Like, use me as a resource to be like, bro, that joint get all the girls, bro. When you really know ball, bro, the girls love when niggas really know ball, bro. So I'm thankful for the fact that you're still here. I appreciate all the kind words. And I appreciate you spending your Monday night, your Monday evening with us over here at Bleeding BNG. But I'm going to go ahead and double down on the injured wide receivers, as I mentioned before, to increase the chances of one of them likely breaking out. Because if both of them break out, Jayden Daniels is winning a fucking MVP. If Jordan Tyson and Chris Bell both reach their ceiling and their potential, Jayden Daniels is going to the fucking moon. That's like pairing CeeDee Lamb and Anquan Bolden on the same team. Justin Jefferson and AJ Brown. Like, what we know? I'm sorry. And if it doesn't work out, guess what? We tanking for Jeremiah Smith next year. The Buccaneers offering pick. So we're back on the board. We selected Chris Bell at 71. We're back on the board. The Bucs are offering pick 155, 195 for 72. No. All right, we back on the board at 72. Ginnings, Dunker, Keith Abney, Keontae Scott, Elijah Surratt, Mike Washington Jr., Antonio Williams, Joshua Joseph. We got some names we could go here. Skylar Bell, Julian Neal. I could go Julian Neal here. I've talked him up all stream. Yeah, we wouldn't have to worry about not having weapons anymore. I picked Keith Abney in the last stream, or in the last mock draft that we did. I think Julian Neal might be a better fit. I like Keontae Scott. I think he's a nickel, though, and he's old as hell. Dalen Everett still on the board. Jake Slaughter still on the board. What corners? I'm thinking between Julian Neal and Jake Slaughter right now. Or we could go edge. I don't really love the edges right here. The value for the edges right here. Don't love it, to be honest with you. What linebackers are available? Ooh, Deontay. Ooh. We could get Perkins right here, too. Or Jayshon Barham. We need a corner, though. Where we going, chat? Where we going with this one, chat? I'm thinking Julian Neal, Harold Perkins, Deontay Lawson still on the board. All right, I'm going to go Julian Neal here. Even though I like the AJ Halsey pick. We need some size in that cornerback room now. Yeah, let's go Julian Neal. All right, so far, Jordan Tyson, Chris Bell, Julian Neal, back on the board at 147. 4 more picks to make. Oh, Zane Durant. Yep. See, it's calling my name. Yeah, Zane Durant is speaking to me right now. At that 147, Zane Durant would be hella value. I think that he's a scheme fit too. I think he would be perfect in this one gap, 3-4 under system, 3-4 under front. So we're gonna go Zane Durant here. You think Barham gonna be a better fit for this defense than Harold Perkins? I think so too. Don't forget Cam Coleman has been elite with awful. Texas Cam Coleman is about to be moving differently. I don't think that's the same Cam Coleman though, but yeah, I agree. I think that Cam Coleman coming in the 2027 draft. All right, back on the board, 187. Oh, Kevin Coleman, I'm sorry. We could go Parker Barrels right here. We go Pat Coogan again. Yeah, let's go Parker Barrels for it. Two more picks. Max Llewellyn, UR Washington Commander. One more pick. We got. Say I won't take Haynes King right now, so he can run all the short yardage stuff. Quintavian Hutchins, Robert Kendall Daniels still on the board. I'm tempted to take Kendall Daniels again, but just for the sake of not being redundant. Could we go Eli Heidenreich and he'd be like our third down back? We could do that. He could be our Christian McCaffrey. We could do that. What's up, Udo4165, coming all the way from Japan? I appreciate you tapping into the channel, my guy. I appreciate that. Can't wait to get out to Japan. I plan on visiting soon. We're gonna have to link up. Let me know all the recs that you got for me. All right, one more pick so I can send you guys out on your Monday night, your Monday evening. Appreciate y'all spending it with us over here, Bleeding B&G. And for that last pick, we're going to go Eric Gentry would get fucked up in this defense. We're going to go Landon Robinson, defensive tackle. Damn, I got two defensive tackles. I got Zane Durant and Landon Robinson. Hey, fuck it. We here now. Jordan Tyson, Chris Bell, Julian Neal, Zane Durant, Parker Brailsford, and where's my last pick? Let's take a picture of these before we head on out. Y'all let me know how you feel about that trade back draft. Which one do we like more? Do we like the BPA player draft or the trade back draft? In the trade back draft, we got Jordan Tyson, Chris Bell, Julian Neal, Zane Durant, Parker Brailsford, Max Llewellyn, and Landon Robertson. Would you take the tight end from Oregon and cut Yankoff and maybe another person? Ooh, Kenyon Sadiq. I probably wouldn't take Kenyon Sadiq in the first round. Now that we now have Chig Okonkwo. I think that they're super redundant in what they do. Both rely on a lot of athleticism and winning a lot on like drag routes and return routes and things of that nature. Yeah. All right. I'm about to head on out of here. Y'all go ahead and smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. I appreciate y'all. We got 400 viewers in the chat right now. 400 people spending their Monday night, Monday evening with us over here at Bleeding B&G. I appreciate y'all rocking with the boy. I wonder if they really like quarterback. I think that's an option. I think that's an option, especially in this defense. Because I think Quan Martin is more twitched up than he's shown. And I think a lot of that comes from he's always second guessing himself in the defenses that he's played in. So hopefully he can play with his hair on fire. Because, yes, I was one of the ones saying that Quan Martin might make a Pro Bowl. You know, I'm willing to admit my losses and my L's. Just as much as y'all know I love running a good old victory lap. All right, we about to head out of here, chat. Check in on y'all on the flip side. Stay tapped into the channel for all the content that we're pushing out. Original videos coming out this week. React to any other moves that the Commanders make for the rest of the offseason, leading up to the draft, for the rest of free agency. Because we're not going nowhere. We're not going nowhere. So y'all go ahead and smash that subscribe button. And I'll check in on y'all on the flip side. Peace.